The competitors are here, Lol Dia Geothermal, Kedong today, and we have what we call passage control here at Buffalo Mall, where we've got all the autographs going on for the kids. And we did a bit of improvisation because the material photograph hadn't arrived, so we just got the kids to sort of surround the drivers. It was really fantastic experience for the kids especially. And we could also see the drivers themselves were really enjoying sort of getting close to Neville, to Takamoto, and so on and so forth. Very funny weather. We are now very hot, very dry. We all look like we're going to have a very, very wet safari. Now, currently it's very hot, very dry, but we don't know. Maybe it's going to change for the Soisambo Elementator and Sleeping Warrior tomorrow. But at the moment, it's hot, it's dry. So, guys, a bit of sunscreen, hats, nice big hats would be nice and advisable. Dress for hot weather, but prepare for winds. In the afternoon in Naivasha to get very windy and so on. Traffic control is working very well. Of course, your journey from Nairobi to Naivasha, or from Nakuru, or from Eldoret to Naivasha might be 30 minutes, might be 1 hour longer, but if we just keep obeying the traffic police, traffic is flowing well. A big shout out to the Ugandan fans. Huge contingent of Ugandan fans at Kedong right now. Hopefully there are more coming tomorrow for day 2. But so far, excellent turnout. The rally, really, the Safari Rally 2024 is on. Calling to everybody out there in Nairobi, Nakuru, come and spend your Easter right here in Naivasha. If you can easily commute, traffic is under control. Come and spend your Easter with us here at the WRC Safari Rally, Easter na Rally. Karibuni. The rally is important for many things. It's obviously motorsport. For the motorsport enthusiasts, they are very clear. They're here for the machines and the rallying, and they can speak all the language. But this is about trade and tourism. This is about making it Kenya. This is about magical Kenya. This is about selling our country globally. This is about foreign direct investments. We are being seen globally. So it's just not about tourism. It's also about the inflows of dollars into our nation. These events are not just about the sport. These are much more. Trade here in Naivasha, trade in the periphery of Nakuru County, trade in Nairobi, the inflow of foreign exchange, the teams, the drivers, and so on and so forth. So yes, the base is the sport, but on that base is built a vibrant economy, talent development, dollar inflows, foreign direct investment, and really our brand getting more currency globally. That's what this is about. Millions and millions of fans around the world are following this race, this rally around the world. And all those eyeballs translate into more tourism, more trade and investment in our nation. Globally. So it's just not about tourism. It's also about the inflows of dollars into our nation. These events are not just about the sport. These are
wonderful stuff. Welcome back. My name is Tiras Wayaki. We're having the finest time of our lives, really. The World Rally Championship Safari Rally Kenya edition started on Thursday, and this is day 3 of the very event. Earlier you had Topi Liambila and Daudi Kanja, veterans of the Voice of Kenya, now known as the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, selling and marketing our country and its diverse beauty. But before we carry on, allow me now to hand you over to Naivasha, where we are having an interview with rally driver Bildav Chaga.
Been a local rally driver, national champion multiple times, classic rally winner, various disciplines we've won. I've been at motorsports for 30 years, so at the moment I'm sort of semi-retired, just done it for 30 years. So we've been called upon by the WRC team to actually do something called a zero car, which means the first car that takes off before the first WRC car into the stage. So which is actually a very important job. I believe they choose us because of the experience that we have. And we will be driving a Mitsubishi Evo 10 today, tried and tested car for Africa. Our job is actually not to drive super fast. Our job is to make sure the stages are very safe to run. Spectators are in the right positions, just in case there's an incident or a car veers off the road. spectators are not hurt, because spectators tend to have a terrible habit of really trying to be as close as possible to the road. Spectators, cameramen. We also have to look at various things like animals, public traffic, if there is anything, even on the main roads, leave alone the stages. So our job is actually quite critical. We're always on radio communication with the HQ as we're driving, so we really have to do a lot of multitasking. So that's why we still have a co-driver, Gareth. So we're actually doing the whole rally at almost rally speed, but we don't get classified at the end of the rally. We're actually here to do a job, and that's what it is.
So looking at this terrain, with the challenge that it poses, so do you think this would be an advantage to the Kenyan drivers?
Not really. If this was the first WRC, I'd say yes. But now this is our fourth WRC. The WRC boys have been here already for 3 years. They've seen it all, so they know what to expect. It's the same stages, same surfaces. They know when it rains how things change, so they're much more prepared. 3 years of doing the event. So our local boys, to be fair, I don't think, against the WRC 1 cars, have no chance. But if you look at the WRC 2 category, of course my favorite would be Carl Tundo, an old, very good friend of mine, who we raced against forever in the National Series. And from the locals, I think he will give all the international boys a hard time. But yeah, that's about it in WRC 2. Then you have Karan Patel, who is also up there. Those are the two boys who might make an impact in that category of vehicles.
So let me talk to your fans and supporters, just to encourage them to come to this event and experience this feeling.
Yeah, even for me, to be very fair, watching this WRC cars is so exciting. It's so phenomenal. The sound, the speed, the action, the dust. You think it's so rough and they're going to slow down here, and suddenly they don't even lift off. If you like cars and if you like speed, then WRC Kenya is a must-watch.
Yes, the drivers have broken off for their lunch break after tackling the morning session. Kalaro Vanpera sits on top of the leaderboard. He's 1.27 minutes ahead of Thierry Neuville, who had a very difficult yesterday but has made a comeback of sorts this morning. So the dynamics are threatening to shift here and there before a very difficult afternoon session through the renowned Sleeping Warrior at some point on the other, Sleeping Warrior 2 that is. That's really known to be a very difficult stretch. And with the sort of anticipated rains, you just never know how this will pan out. But keep it right here, KBC Channel 1 will keep you very much heads up with what's happening. Now there's, as you heard earlier with my interview with Keho, there's a new point system for today and tomorrow that has been introduced by the WRC. Let's hear what the drivers have to say about it.
To that format. You know, it's a system. We knew why we wanted that system. There was way too much, cruising on Sunday, not enough action, and thinking about the fans, thinking about the media. We wanted to see how we could come up with a product that is, very intense from the start to the finish line, to the last seconds of the power stage, and not only through the point of the power stage. So we come up with that concept, which probably is a bit complex for all of us to understand and to explain. So that's probably a weakness of the system. But apart from that, we see that we have a championship that is very, very tight. We had the first two rallies that were very tight, which provided also great storyline.
Yeah, the point system is different this year. It's a very advanced system. let's say this way, that the idea was to create excitement for the Sunday, and I think we generally we have achieved that. But the problem is that it's just a bit too confusing calculating the points and it takes a bit of time how to calculate the points. So I think that the idea behind it was a good idea, but it just that. To get it working properly, that everybody understands, is a bit of a challenge. But it is like this year, and we try to. The target is we go according to regulations, and we try to get to make most out of it, and we just need to play with the regulations how they are.
Yeah, I mean it's like that, and now we just have to drive to it and see what happens with it.
Yeah, it's let's say it's different, but I'm not doing the full season, so the points are not so important for me. I'm more focusing on the overall classification of the weekend, and let's hope we can work on that.
Okay, I understand that to keep some interesting and excitement for the Sunday, this is working pretty well. The only thing that winners should get the highest point, so this is something they need to fix, but hopefully they will fix.
I think it's maybe a bit in the opposite direction. It's good to try to push the guys to keep fighting on Sunday, but I find it a bit odd that some drivers can gain more points than the winner. But maybe we just should gain more points on Saturday, so that the bonus point on Sunday are still important, but that you gain a bit less. Otherwise, you can benefit too much from the Sunday.
Now, talk about how the car feels after shakedown this morning.
Yeah, good. Wasn't really happy on the first pass, but after we got quickly the good feeling and the good setup it needs, at least for shakedown. Now we have to see for